speaking of legends.
Yeah.
What's up with Anita?
I know, man. I'm ready. Anita, what's up?
What no, I've been waiting on that to drop. Yo, why is she playing?
She's on the top of my list of collaborators, but also top of my list for inspiration. You know what I mean? But I can't say, man, Anita has shown so much love. Like, use her, like, on her platform, you know what I mean? Like, shouting out the music, which I really appreciate. We've also talked privately. Cool. And she's just as sweet and, like, she just offers so much, like, good energy and perspective. Like, I remember one time, you know, people say crazy stuff online, and she basically, in the way that, like, real family could do, she kind of hit me with that, like, don't you be on here arguing with these people. Like, you know what I mean? Yo, what's up? It's Kenyon Dixon, a.k.a. R&B Kenny, and the R&B You Love. My new album is out now. And Nyla, holla at me. We need to talk.
What's up, guys? Nyla Symone here from We Need to Talk. As you know, we drop 2 interviews a week, each and every Monday and each and every Thursday. Brand new exclusive content from your favorite celebrities, influencers, whoever. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on. And make sure you guys just share, tell a friend to tell a friend, drop a comment, show your girl some love, all right? What's going on, guys? Nyla Symone here with another episode of We Need to Talk. And I got a very special guest in the building. We got Kenyon Dixon here. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Good to see you.
You too.
Welcome back. This is like our 1-year anniversary.
You know what I mean? Anniversary show is only right.
Yeah. Yes, that is true. Now, I seen you last night. I'm going to start with this. I seen you last night and you did not want to go out.
Oh, come on.
I had to tip my hat off to you for the professionalism.
I had to be up early.
Yes.
I'm here. You
are here.
Yeah,
you got your tea.
Yeah.
I know you got a performance. I'm not trying to kill your vibe, but you definitely do have to party with me.
I'm coming back. We're going to make it happen.
Okay. I'm going to hold you to that.
That's a bet.
I'm going to hold y'all to that, Andre. So, okay. Since we last spoke, though, you dropped a new project.
Yes.
I have to say, following you on Instagram, you're probably my favorite artist on the gram because you're so interactive and you're so current and just like the themes that you come up with, like they keep me engaged.
Yeah. I appreciate
Where does that stream from?
Man, I'm online all day. Like,
okay.
I'm one of us. Like, I'm looking at scrolling down the timeline, looking at the trends, and like it's funny. I love like funny stuff, engaging stuff. So I think anytime I post, naturally it just like goes through my head to like filter whatever I'm posting through some of the stuff I've seen. So I don't know. I like content.
He's like, this is just where my brain be at.
Literally.
Someone needs to put you on the payroll for that. Like, these are great concepts. Who thought of this?
Appreciate it.
No team behind that?
Creatively, it's literally just me watching and doing whatever I feel like doing.
All right, is it overwhelming?
When I don't want to do it. Yeah. It's like, I think that's the thing about like putting out content as an artist. Like when it's stuff that you naturally want to do, it doesn't feel like a task. But, you know, when management is like, so we need you to do, I'm like, I don't want to do it right now. Yeah. Like, I'll do it an hour after the time you need it on purpose.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do it like that,
petty.
But you know what I mean?
Wait, that is so petty. What's your sign again? What's up, guys? I'm Nyla Symone, and I hope you're enjoying this interview. If you are, just do me a favor. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Follow the channel.
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, yeah. Y'all are definitely petty.
We can be, for sure.
For sure. You guys are sweethearts, but once the sweetness is gone, it's sweet. They were sour. Out, that is definitely Cancer.
That's a Cancer, for sure.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, I feel like in your new project, the R&B You Love, we kind of get both sides of that as well. Because we talk about love, but then we also talk about heartbreak, which I appreciate. So where do I want to start? First of all, I actually want to start with Again, which is the last one on the project.
Okay.
I loved Again the most because I felt it. You know, like the message behind the record and how like you would do it all again if you had to. Where were you at mentally when you created that one?
Crazy, like at the end of an album. Like conceptually, I think after I went through all these different themes and finally got the album done, and I was at this last song, it represented even the creative journey of like you put so much into making art, and so even that can be like exhausting. You know, there were times where I was working on an album and then like stop because I wasn't inspired anymore, or like I was having to like find it. But it's also just a life story about like when you look at where you were. I mean, we're like champions, because anything that we thought was going to stop us, we're still here and on the other side of it, you know what I mean? So I always think about that, and it's like, when you put it into perspective, I would do it again because this is how I got here, and I love the space that I'm in now. So I felt like that was a perfect closer for the album after you went on this like entire journey of like music, and it's like, would I do it again to feel like this? Like, absolutely, I would. So
I love that. So with you saying that, like, there are points where you had to like walk away, come back, and rejuvenate. What was it that you were doing to rejuvenate and like gain that spark again?
Living. It's so important when you're creating to like go outside, like feel and like just catch different energy, like, you know what I mean, like switch up your surroundings, because that's tough when you're working, and then you kind of feel like you're like locked in this space, but like as a human, you know what I mean, that's not really healthy. Like, you gotta get out, experience some stuff, and that gives you perspective to bring back to the art. So for me, that's what I did. Like, anytime I have, you know, what we call writer's block, I immediately stop whatever it is I'm working on, because I understand I can always come back to it. But I go and just, you know, live life for a second and come back, and I can approach it differently.
I like it. So with that being said, how long did it take for you to create this project?
I would say, all in all, I give it like a year. Because I feel like right after my last album dropped, I didn't know that I was working on a new album. I just was creating music. And so it started off like, I thought I was doing an EP that was like 3-4 songs. And then I had these different sounds. I had like some more modern sounding music, and then like some retro stuff. And so
you sound like Marvin Gaye on here.
It's some Marvin influence for sure. And I had some retro sounding stuff. And so I was like, I'm going to break it up actually and make it 2 EPs. And it was still going to be the R&B You Love, but a part 1 and part 2. And one was going to be like, you know, my current music, and one was going to be like what has influenced me. And so then when I thought about it, which was a challenge to myself to create the album, I was like, I think I can find a way to make these different sounds live in one space. It took a lot of thinking, and which is where the interludes come in.
I know, I love all the skits.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that was really like me figuring out how to make these sounds work together, because ideally, like, artists would for sure shy away from putting different dynamics like that on one project, you know what I mean? Because everything is about like the consistency and branding, but like, you know, really tapping into R&B, like that is a thing. So I was like, I think all of this could work together. So yeah, I ended up with an album like a year later.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Very well done. I will say, I think you're right as far as like people not wanting to blend like kind of different sounds on a project, but it's even interesting that you even care about albums, because, you know, we're in a single-driven culture. Yeah. So, like, I love to find people that are still down to do conceptual projects.
I'm an albums artist for sure. Like, I've always thought that. Like, I can, you know, write singles, create singles all day, but my magic as an artist is in context and being able to give you, like, a body of work that lets you better understand what this single record was about. So I love albums.
So the R&B You Love, what era is this for Kenyon Dixon?
Man, that's a great question.
He's like, I ain't even figure it out yet.
Yeah, it's just, I will say this is the beginning of what I feel like my final place is in R&B. I think that this kind of establishes my knowledge of and love for R&B. You know what I mean? And so I think anything moving forward technically will be an extension of something that I just created. So that for me was really cool, because it set me up to kind of be able to go wherever I want to following this album, because there's so many different vibes. So now it's like, what do I want to expand on? Like, my next project could be a project completely inspired by Marvin Gaye, or a project completely inspired by Babyface. Yeah. Or, you know what I mean? I could go some places. So
yeah. Okay, I like that. So this is like it's like a reset. Yeah, but like just an expansion. Yep. Yeah.
It feels like that for sure.
I can hear that too. Okay, the interlude where the girl is saying, "Oh, you an R&B singer?" Yeah. You know, like she's kind of like over it. Yeah. Does that happen to you a lot when you tell people that?
So it's like that was like I was trolling a little bit on the album too, because these are conversations that we see online all the time. So it's always like, oh, R&B is always toxic, and nobody's singing in the rain, and like, you know what I mean? So
I was dead gonna complain about that. Like, every nigga wants to sing in the rain, but doesn't actually sing in the rain.
This was literally like answers to all of the stuff, the conversations that happen online. So like, she was almost being facetious in a way, because it's like, this is what people say. It's like, oh, if you do R&B, they assume like, oh, let me guess, you make the toxic music and you talk about like, you know what I mean? So I do get that often, especially because I have a song called Toxic and people love the record. I think nobody has actually paid attention to the context of the record, which isn't saying like I'm okay with being toxic. It's actually about accountability and saying, hey, I know that this is what I could do, so this is why I try and keep my distance and not make a commitment or get involved with you, because I'm trying to save you, because I think you're better than what I have to offer. So that's like
damn, that's real.
But it's crazy because the term toxic is so triggering that nobody looks into context. They don't care. You hear toxic, it means toxicity. So
yeah, that's a good point. I feel like even when people are listening, because I have done, album breakdowns with a lot of people, and I'm like, yeah, this record is about this. And they're like, no, it's not. It's about this. And I'm like, for real? I think I missed a couple bars. Something went wrong. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that now. Let's start with Fantasy featuring Cause.
Okay.
Love that you had Cause on the project.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my brother.
That record feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the inspo behind that?
So Fantasy, so again, there are a lot of concepts on the album. So coming from the first song, which was In Your Head, it's kind of a tie into that, even like just on wordplay. Like, it's in your head, so you're fantasizing about it. And so this was the visual concept behind that is like, if we're in this like club space and you're kind of think Full Moon, Brandy. Think about those lyrics. It's like you walk into a space and you kind of catch somebody's eye and you see them looking. So it's telling the story of like, I know what you're thinking, like, and I might be on the same page. So like, I'm gonna save you the time and I'm gonna just say, I know this is what you on. So like, what's good? It's kind of, like that. Like, I'm your fantasy. I know I'm your fantasy. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's one of them records where you got to talk the talk in the R&B space. But yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? It's art. It's art. But
no, I love it.
But that's real life. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times people are like afraid to communicate, and we sometimes know what they're thinking accurately. So it's like that battle of like, you gonna say it or I'm gonna say it, because we both thinking it. So it's one of those kind of records.
I love that. That's dope. Actually, now that you say Full Moon, I'm like, we got to get a visual for that.
Yeah, absolutely. That has to happen. It's coming.
Okay, and then Good Love.
Good Love. Another answer to the conversation. Inspired by Babyface. Absolutely.
It sounds like it. Is there like a sample?
No sample.
Production, something. I'm like, why is it?
Yeah, no sample in there, but I would say more of an interpolation. So like the inspiration behind Good Love, really Babyface all across the board, but like Whip Appeal inspired like the production, like actual drum pattern, and then like Ready or Not After 7, which was Babyface.
I had to check my phone, like, am I still listening to? Oh my god,
yeah. That record was really like, this is the men don't beg no more. This is the answer to that. Okay. You know what I mean? Because this is the record that's literally talking about how you do anything for your lady because she gives you good love, and it's not just like in an intimate setting. It's like the love is good, like how you love on me, and it makes me okay with being vulnerable. Like there's some ad-libs at the end that's like it's like, I'll tell all of the world. Like, it's like, I'm not afraid to talk about, you know what I mean? Like, I'm proud that you're my girl, that you're my woman. So it's Good Love is one of those records that's just about boasting about being in love. Even if it's for a second, just being able to talk about it. Yeah.
That probably is my favorite one on the project. Yeah, honestly. And I love the content. I'm not in love right now, but
I understand.
It feels good.
I'm not either, but you know what I mean? Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean you're not? Man. How you making love songs? You're not. This sounds like you're.
Because I've experienced it.
Oh, you know what? That's actually what I wanted to talk about. Which record was it? Is it Wait? No, it's 2000s R&B.
Okay.
And you're talking about how like you've experienced love, you got your heart broke.
Yeah.
And then I guess my question to you about the heartbreak is, are you not able to love the same after the initial heartbreak?
I think there's a bit of reservation there, and it takes some work to get back to like, you know, your normal self or back to your center to where you can love somebody without any like apprehension. But it's definitely not as easy going into it. Some people are like that though. I do know some people who are like, relationship ended last week, and this week they're like, this is my
I don't trust those type of people. I don't get it.
They're tricky.
Yeah.
Very tricky people. But I do know people who are able to like move like that, and you be over here like, damn, you was just like down bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for myself, the cancer in me, because everything is sketchy to us. Okay. I'm like, who sent you here? Why are you here so quick after what? You know what I mean? After what just happened. So it takes some time for me to like open up after, you know, experiencing like traumatic events like that. But
do you think it's ever the same? Because that first heartbreak, like listening to it, I started thinking about my first heartbreak, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to say not loved as hard, but maybe not that like openly.
Got you.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so it's the same for you.
Yeah, I would say it's the same for myself. Like after that first time, it kind of jades you. Like honestly, it changes your perspective. Like whether you really want to acknowledge it or not, it does make you just
over it.
Yeah, like nervous and anxious about what's even happening. You know what I mean? So it takes some figuring out.
Yeah, but the singing in the rain. I know we're jumping all over the project.
It's all good.
Since we're on it, the singing in the rain part, I was literally laughing at because I'm like, I know he did not really include this in One Wish on some Ray J shit.
Had to.
But y'all don't do it.
I had to do it.
Are you gonna do it in the music video?
So there's a video for 2000s R&B.
Oh shit, I didn't see it yet.
And I'm in the rain the entire time.
Are you really?
Absolutely.
How was shooting that?
It was fun. It was fun. I didn't know what I was walking into though, because like, you know, you like, how is this gonna go over? And you know, it's art. We gotta get shots. So I remember my guy Hope, who I shot it with. We were about to do a practice run, and I was like, "Nah, we got to shoot this one. Like it's like we got to just jump into it
in the rain,
because I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to like do it." But surprisingly, man, we were able to do that video in like 2 takes, and then got like, you know, some like little BTS moments to insert. But it was actually fun, man. It made me feel like I was like in the early 2000s. So I felt like, okay, this is what, you know, this is the bag I was in. So
did you get sick?
I didn't get sick.
Okay.
I didn't get sick.
And I was like, dang, I wonder if he got sick after shooting that.
Nah, I was good. And we were inside. It's like a rain room. So you can control like the water, and like I didn't even know stuff like that existed until I was committed to trying to shoot a video in the rain.
That's fire.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
It's a rain room.
Yeah, literally. It's a big warehouse, and it has like, I mean, for lack of
like sprinklers.
It's like sprinklers, yeah. And they were in a circle. I think they were like it was like in a circle.
That's really, really cool.
That's pretty fire. So, you know, and I did my research beforehand. Like what really made me like connect to that concept, I started looking at clips. I mean, obviously, you know, there's One Wish, Ray J, we know that video, but also there's like Usher, Confessions. When he did that live, I don't know if you remember, he did that live at like the BET Awards, I think it was. And he was like on stage with like rain, like during that performance. Like I was looking at all of the performances and of course, you know, for the culture, You Got Served. Think about that rain scene was like, you know what I mean? That's one of the takeaways from the movie. So I was like, yeah, man, I want to tap into that bag. I had
rain moment.
I had to.
I'm not mad at that. I love when you and Tiffany do records together.
That's my dog.
Maybe I'm biased. Obviously you're biased because you keep doing the records for her as well.
Yeah.
But let's talk about 98's Vibes.
98 Vibes, man. That one came together so smoothly. Tiff, and you know, me and Tiff have history, and that's my LA homie. So, you know, we grew up together, got some real energy together. And anytime I hit Tiff, it's like she just knows it. It's crazy. I think that's why I collaborate with a lot of the same people, because they just get it. Like the synergy is already there. I send them something, I don't really gotta say anything. They just tap right in. So I sent Tiffany the beat. And I was like, yo, I actually wanted her to write the whole song. But before she, because I was like, yo, Tiff, I want you to write the song because I feel like your approach to this is going to be crazy. Right when I sent it to her, before she got a chance to send something back, 98 Vibes popped in my head. And I recorded it and was like, wait, I got a hook. And she sent me something back. And what's crazy is what she sent back is actually sampled in the hook, which I feel like I got to do a breakdown of that. But the Do You Right part came from Tiff's demo version of what she had sent me that she had wrote. And I was like, nah, we about to like blend these together. And so I had already wrote the hook for 98 Vibes and there was still that post. And I was like, nah, it got to be like 98 Vibes, like Do You Right. Like we need that part in there. So you'll hear a vocal sample that's saying Do You Right as I'm saying, just want to do you right. Like, so that's Tiff. That's floating all in there.
That's
and
crazy.
So I sent her the verse. Yeah, what were you going to say?
So you guys both were writing about doing you right without communicating?
Yeah, it was like, so Do You Right was completely on Tiff. I was, the first half of the verse, I just want to dive in it. Up until Do You Right, I had that melody. And when she sent that back, I was like, no, what you just sent, that's the lyrics for this part. Like, we got to put that right there. So that synergy, though.
That's
like, we were
crazy.
already on the same page, you know what I mean? So, and then, you know, her verse is history. She sent that back. Tiff going Tiff. So,
Yeah, I really like you two together.
thank you.
I love that story. Damn. So y'all weren't even together when y'all made that.
Nah. We're just sending bounces.
Yeah.
Pro Tools bounces back and forth.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, you guys definitely have a lot of good synergy. Now, I think Lucky is such a cute song. I hope somebody gives me a song like that one day. That is so cute.
Thank you.
Where were you at when you wrote that? Like, were you watching something? What inspired Lucky?
The black woman.
Okay.
Lucky was inspired by the black woman. I think, and again, to speak to the toxic conversation, I think it's so important to have art that uplifts us, but especially like black beauty, because it's something that's not displayed properly, I feel like, in media and like, you know, where we see it. They display so much toxicity when it's connected to us, you know what I mean? And so seeing how, you know, black women especially are portrayed in like, it's a weird light. Like I feel like when it's in the media. And so I wanted to offer something different. And so, you know, just think about the black woman and how amazing black women are, and just like, it's also natural. And so what I imagined was like, literally my visual writing this song was like, if I was just sitting on the edge of the bed, looking at my girl, like getting ready, and she's in her most natural state, just, you know, she's washing her face and like, you know what I mean? It's like just a song of like admiration for that natural beauty. So that's really what Lucky was, man. And I kind of freestyled that record. Like that, the first verse and hook, I cut and wrote that probably in like under 30 minutes. And that was one of them records where like, usually I challenge myself, whatever comes out first, I'm like, no, you could, you know, try and do something better. And that was one of them songs where I was like, nah, this was my natural response to it, and I think this should be it. So
It feels organic, how you say, like,
yeah,
going throughout the day. Like, I feel like if there's, I know there's like National Girlfriend Day, Boyfriend Day. That's a record for National Girlfriend
I
Day.
love
like,
it.
everybody should post their significant other to
Y'all hear that?
record.
Post them.
Yes. But that's what I think. But what's ILY?
I love you. So it's acronym for what's the prelude leading into that song, but yeah, it just stands for I love you.
Okay.
I like acronyms. Like last album,
I remember.
we got WYTD,
Even though I thought it
ISLY.
meant something else. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
well, it was something on the last project. I thought it was something, and you were like, no, it stands for, what? I think it was SISY.
Yeah, I still love you. ISLY.
Yeah, my brain.
Yeah.
It just takes me time. I'm sorry. Bear with me.
It's all good.
Okay, and then the last two I want to get into is Slow Dancing with Kinsey.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the one with Alex Isley and then some.
Yeah,
Let's start
yeah.
with and then some.
And then some. You know, sensual record. It's about. It's really just about sensuality. It's just
That
one
felt
of those.
like a classic Kenyon. Like, if I'm like, oh, this is Kenyon. Kenyon's in his bag. You know what I mean?
It was literally one of those records, and like Alex. I mean, you know, we got tons of records
Synergy
together.
also, yeah.
And so when I first started working on that record, I heard her immediately. But naturally, like I said, I collaborate with a lot of the same people. So I was trying to. It was funny because I told Alex when I told Alex about the song, I was like, at some point we gotta stop collaborating because we got so many songs together. I was like, but I can't fight it because I feel like you're like, I can't hear anybody on this song more than you, and I already know how you're gonna approach it. Like, you know what I mean? So I sent it to her, and what she sent back was perfect. But yeah, and then some was just, yeah, it was one of those records produced by my brother Frank Rose. That was one of the last records that I finished on the album, and we had that one earlier on, and I was actually gonna pass on it because we were trying to figure out. We knew we liked the drum pattern, and I remember telling Frank, I was like, I think we gotta like approach the chorus or something differently, only to come back to what was already there.
Hilarious.
And be like, no, okay, this is it.
Yeah, this was right. All
Yeah.
right, okay, and then slow dancing.
Slow dancing. Shout out to my Chicago brother Kinsey. That was an ode to Zapp and Roger. But again, the R&B You Love. So you think about Computer Love. You think about I Want to Be Your. I want to be
the
your.
intro for it is fire. Yeah.
It's all that's one of those records. And Talkbox to me is such a cheat code in R&B. And so like, in modern music, we don't really get a lot of it. People don't really care about like real instrumentation. So I was like, let's do it. Why not? And so
well, they do the new version of it, I guess.
Yeah, it's still like unmatched. Like Kinsey cut it with his actual like talk box, the tube in his mouth, and like yeah. Like he's legit. Like he don't play around. So
wow.
Yeah, I was happy for us to get that record out, and like a record with some good tempo. You know what I mean? Because that's also a complaint in R&B. Everybody thinks like, oh, R&B songs are slow.
It's definitely my biggest complaint in R&B.
And I know as a DJ, because y'all don't have a lot of up tempo, y'all can play that R&B record. So I respect that.
I mean, I like both, but you could never go wrong with bounce.
Yeah,
like bounce is just a win.
I agree.
So yeah. But I mean, even Fantasy has like the bounce.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's my after the party record. I love that.
Is that for you? So out of this project, out of all the songs, would you say is your favorite one on here?
It changes every day, but today I'm gonna go with Shine today.
Shine?
Yeah, Shine is my favorite today.
Okay. He said today.
Yeah.
Why is it changing so much?
Because it depends on my mood. You know what I mean?
Does it change by the day or does it change by like the month? I feel like day is too soon.
It's like every couple of hours for me. It depends on my mood. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm connected to the music.
Okay.
So depending on how like I actually feel, like that'll really change it for me.
He was like, at night I'm gonna turn it.
You know what I mean? It might be 2000s R&B tonight.
Yeah. Like, all right, no, that's actually understandable. I definitely, and this is just me as a fan, I like the rapper collab with you.
Yeah.
Just bring a different element. Like I feel like having Kaz was a really good touch.
Nah, agreed, man. Kaz killed that, and I think too, my music lives more in the R&B soul space. So I think that
caught me off guard.
Yeah, I think that like rapping and my style of music is something that everybody wants to hear because I get my comparisons like to like the neo soul era. It's always like, oh, like your music reminds me of like Music Soul Child, or like, and you think about those collaborations like Slum Village and like, you know what I mean? There were a lot of, even we can go Lil Mo and Fab, you know what I mean? Like that was that era of singers and rappers collaborating. So
we have to bring that back.
100%.
We have to bring that back.
100%.
But you're definitely on the right path for it. The R&B You Love, I really love it. It's still growing on me for sure, but I think that Cause one, at least for radio, top tier. And then for my personal life, Lucky, even though I can't give myself that song, but again, really like, I think like it's just so hard being a creative in general.
Yeah.
But then like at times where I want to quit, even if I was to quit and get a regular job, I would still be doing this. So then there's no point in me quitting. So it's like I would still choose this anyway.
Those are the woes though of being a creative. I think that's how it happens. Like you're gonna question what you're doing, you're gonna challenge yourself, but you never stop. So that's what makes it like beautiful.
Yeah. I like it. We need that record to get us through the day. Pick me up.
Yeah.
So, what's next? Tour, videos, what's happening?
Everything you said. More R&B. Tour is on the way. More videos are on the way.
You stay on a tour.
I
gotta give it to you. Stay on a tour.
Yeah, I think touring live shows are important for me. Aside from the fact that like that's my background, I come from singing live first, but it's important with the type of music that I make because I think I make music that make fans want a deeper connection, and so they enjoy coming to the shows to get like more perspective, even if it's just based off energy on the records and what what goes into the records. I think live shows should always like heighten your music. And so I appreciate that I've been able to build a live show presence and people are interested in coming out to see it because that's a lot of things. I mean, that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Like just having music. Yeah.
That ticket is
that's a different monster. Like people, just having a following and streams, amazing. That doesn't make you interesting enough for people to want to spend money and to come and see you know what I mean? And so I don't take it lightly that like when I do shows, especially if I'm not on tour and I'm doing one-offs, I got fans like flying from wherever because they want to come and catch the show. And that means a lot to me, you know what I mean? Because it's tough in this climate. So I can't wait to get back out and like, share this music with the fans. But I've been doing a lot of writing as well. Been in studio working on Justin Timberlake with his next album. So we got a lot of collaborative work on that one. So when he's ready to tell y'all about that one, I'm excited for y'all to hear it.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's a big bomb right there. I
man.
love that. Yes.
Shout out to my guy, man. We've been in working since 2020. We've been working on this album for like the last 3 years. Wow. So yeah.
Dang. Okay. That's coming this year? Soon.
It's coming soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. Okay. Speaking of legends.
Yeah.
What's up with Anita?
I know, man. I'm ready. Anita, what's up?
What? No, I've been waiting on. I've been waiting on that to drop. Yo, why is she playing?
Yo, man. That's like my top. She's on the top of my list of collaborators, but also top of my list for inspiration. You know what I mean? But I can't say, man, Anita has shown so much love. Like, use her, like, on her platform, you know what I mean? Like, shouting out the music, which I really appreciate. We've also talked privately. Cool. And she's just as sweet and, like, she just offers so much, like, good energy and perspective. Like, I remember one time, people say crazy stuff online. And she basically, in the way that, like, real family could do, she kind of hit me with that, like, don't you be on here arguing with these people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, take your time and... That's love. Yeah, and I was like, man, I really appreciate that because I think that that's what we need, man. More like, mentorship in the game because a lot of artists are just on their own to figure this stuff out, you know what I mean? Especially the parts of the game that's connected to, like, morale because you only get game on business and barely, you know what I mean? But nobody teaches you how to stay sane and preserve your brand, you know what I mean? Because most labels are just in it for whatever they can get in that moment. So they don't really care about, you know what I mean, your legacy. Exactly. So I really appreciated that, like, more than she knows. Just sending some love and good energy and some perspective on, like, yo, you're different. This is how you handle this. Cause,
that's so dope.
Yeah, man. So I'm ready. I have like the utmost respect and admiration for Miss Baker.
I really want you guys to collab. Anita, we are waiting on the Kenyon Anita record.
I'm ready.
I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I think it would be a hit record, and I can't wait for it to happen. So I'm not even gonna keep blasting off like that. But I love that she's giving you like that type of mentorship. Yeah. I have an OG like that too. Who they don't like talk to me every day. Yeah. But when they tap in, it's like, oh shit! All right, let me tighten up. All right, exactly. Cool. All right, I know I got to tighten up. Yeah,
and it's almost like a cool feeling, you know what I mean? Because it's like, cool, you care enough to to extend that, and it's crazy. I don't know if it's because of the type of music that I make, and it's more like classic, traditional R&B, but like even shout out to Cheryl Lynn, who, if this world were mine, like Cheryl shows love, which was crazy. I'm like, these are like legends. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for the type of music that I make and the type of creatives that inspire me, like these are the people that I listen to. You know what I mean? So it's not
That's
the
your
same.
tribe.
Yeah. So I'm like, when they reach out, and same with Cheryl, man. You know, we've talked directly, and like she's just shown so much love. Like RL, who's on 2000s R&B, man. RL, like just great guy. Like, and I don't know, I just appreciate people like that. You know, as a younger artist, because again, a lot of our like heroes and OGs, they don't really champion us. They don't really mess with our version of music, you know what I mean? And so it's really cool to actually have people who lift you up, and you know, not our people who aren't online just downplaying the newer generation, because I think they don't understand how that may impact some younger creatives who are like inspired by them, you know what I mean? And that could, the wrong creative, that could really like send somebody into a different direction.
That's true. I feel like when people are online doing things like that or saying things like that, I feel like it's all a publicity like ploy, honestly, when I be seeing that.
It's
like,
probably 90% marketing for sure.
It's like they just shit on it and then they drop a record after, and
that,
it's like,
and that happens.
Okay, like,
yeah, I literally just talked about that because it's weird too, because you see some of the greatest people who say stuff like that only to promote something that doesn't align with what they were even talking about, and that I don't know. There's a lesson there somewhere.
We're in a weird era right now. But the thing is, though, I mean, me and you are paying attention because we pay attention, but the average person is not paying attention to that shit, and it drives me mad.
Yeah, they could care less, man.
Y'all don't understand why we not rocking with some shit, but it's like, Yep. Anyway, tours coming.
Yeah.
New records that you've helped Justin Timberlake with on his new project. Definitely looking forward to seeing that resume.
Yeah.
Feels like a Grammy's on the way, I'm just saying. But shout out to Graham, let everybody know where they can tap in with Kenyon Dixon if they haven't already.
Kenny Got Soul on all of your favorite platforms. And if you love R&B, Kenyon Dixon on your favorite DSP. Go tap into the R&B You Love. It is out now, and it is absolutely the R&B that you love. You don't want to be late catching on to it, you know what I mean? So join the conversation now.
Yes, tap in. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that lovely conversation. You already know we need to talk for all your exclusive interviews with your favorite artists, celebrities, influencers, etc. Now, if you guys haven't already, make sure you drop a comment. Show me some love. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like. I'm open to criticism. And also, please, whatever you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the latest content that drops when it drops.